How's it going? Hope you're having a great day. This is a companion commentary to my photo project, The Picture Party. And this one is my first, like, just larger project and most photos, that type of thing. And this one is was fun to do because I just went into the archive. That's it. I didn't shoot for the project. And the cool thing about this one, before I get into it, if you haven't yet, check out my website, bsmitty.com. After this video, you can view this whole project. You can view all my other projects. It's no cost. You can view everything. Um, so yeah, you can definitely check out everything on my website, bsmitty.com. And so for this project, the picture party, it was actually a nod at an idea I had, probably, I don't know, 15 years ago or so. So I had this idea of a picture party where I would have a party where all it was pictures. And it was like I had this whole concept of, like, I'd invite a bunch of people over, but everyone would have a time slot and they could still hang out for the picture party, but every time slot, whether it's 5 minutes or whatever it was, that person was in front of a white wall or a certain area or whatever to take their picture. It was like a little mini photo session. And it was this idea of take all these portraits at this picture party, and then there would be, like, pictures of everyone kind of hanging out. That was a concept, never worked out. But that was just some, like, kind of, like, fantasy idea I had in my head. Maybe someday, something like that will come about, but that was an idea I had, and I always liked that those words, like, a picture party. So, that's kinda where it came up. So I had my own picture party of going through my archive, and I really had no direction besides it being a party. I have some themes that you'll see in here. I like to kind of sometimes I like to leave those, like, the themes kind of look into, like, for you to look into, kind of thing. So I'm not going to really describe certain themes I have going on here, because that's the fun of, I think, looking at photo projects and books and all that is like, what is the theme, narratives, all that. Sometimes or simple, like my last narrative or last commentary I did was for the Bath project, and that one's very much straightforward. There's obviously, if you watch that commentary, just like some input of, like, or information that you wouldn't know unless I said it. But that one has, like, its general theme, um, for that specific project. But for the most part, um, and the cool thing, like, so the project Bath, you know what that is, but there's themes within that at the same time. That's where, like, I talked about, like, these certain paths and what, that type of thing. Anyways, this we'll talk about the picture party, but again, you can have themes or narratives within a larger narrative is basically where I'm getting at. So again, this is all just like I went through photos. There's no I had real no parameters. I just dug through folders. I'd grab some photos, and then just kind of go from there. And this is another full digital project. And again, this project has the most of any of the photo projects I've done. So let's get into the picture party. So, yeah, I mean, you'll definitely tell, like, where I'm going at right away with certain things, and with imagery and all that type of stuff for sure too. And it's cool to see, like, there you can for sure tell maybe the age of stuff by camera quality for sure. Again, like, there's certain things that you'll see that's more obvious, like a candle, and, like, it's a picture party, like that type of thing. It's photo like a lot. It's just kind of this photo, like making this photo. I'm trying to remember when I shot this one. This was probably uh, this photo might have been taken in 2009. Um, so let me see if I have. No, I don't have the year. So picture parties, you know, I think I don't know what year I brought this out. I probably should go through and, like, actually put the years maybe. I kinda don't really like that either. I don't know. Do I really need to do that? Not sure. But Picture Party was these are in order of when I released them. So this is probably 2020, 2021, 2022, maybe yeah, something like that. Definitely not before 2021. So, but again, this photo's from 2009. So you could tell I went through the archives different ways, like, it wasn't just recent stuff. So anyways, this photo right here was shot in 2009, but this photo right now might not even there's not many chances to make this photo happen, like, organically. Like, this TV, this whole this vibe of, like, yeah, I mean, times are changing for sure, and they've I mean, this is even at this time when I shot this photo looked like an old school spot. So, I mean, again, it's 16 years later, which is slightly disturbing or really disturbing, however I wanna feel about that. Um, the cool thing, this is shot in the studio. Um, Actually, if you've seen it, that this arcade controller's still back here, but this wasn't my arcade setup. This was Doots, which is he's the guy on the left, and, this was kind of his space way back in the day. Um, so this was, uh that's my brother actually on the right. They're rocking out arcade, looks like maybe some Street Fighter? Not Street Fighter, what would this be? Tekken? I don't know, one of those. I really like the idea of just grabbing stuff in this too, where it's like, I really like this random photo and I'm putting it in the picture party. Oh gosh. That's a little sequence I just kinda already knew was coming up from doing this project is like, he's throwing the ball and he's out. So this photo here, I ended up doing a project here at this spot, a full project, um, called Midway. So definitely stay tuned to that. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't here on YouTube so you can, know when that video and that commentary comes out. This is at that, antique archaeology place in Nashville. Love that show, American Pickers. I haven't watched it in a really I know there's, like, still new episodes. I haven't really watched them, like, since the Frank days, and I know he passed, and he was even not on the show for a while before then, but, man, what a great show. I I love the vibe of flea markets and garage sales, and, I know that's a project for sure. I've shot, like, a lot of like, I don't know if I wanna use the word a lot, but I've shot many photos at flea markets and garage sales and stuff over the years, and, I definitely can piece some stuff together, but I think that's one that demands a little bit of respect where kind of, like, maybe try to make some certain photos happen. Yeah, I don't know if that's really true, but I feel like, in the sense where maybe I get a few photos that are like, I don't know, I think there needs to be something added to what I have for sure, like, maybe think of some scenarios or even just for, like, a main image or, like, a few things, I don't know, but kinda like with the fair, like, there's certain photos that, like, I know I need within the project that tie everything together. I think once I compiled my garage sale slash flea market photos together, I would know right away, like, I need this element within these photos to kinda tie it all together to make it work, and that's what more so what I mean by, like, making certain photos happen. This is cool. Yeah, it's a party. Let me go right into a tree. You can see what I'm doing there. Maybe. This little sequence, I like it. This one I like too because I kinda caught him in some good action down there. getting the twos involved, you know? This isn't a video. I think it's one of those. I made some, like, when I was first getting into, like, trying to film things a little bit differently, I was making these, like, little film, like, little montage videos, like, not with photos, but just, like, of areas. I think this is one of those where it's just, like, there's a drone shot. This is just, like, photo I shot with the drone when I was there, and you can actually see me. A little bit of a self-portrait vibe. It's one of, like, the sign in the tree. This is Emily. Um, she was in a lot of my older projects. I mean, that was probably I mean, that would have been from that time period too. Yeah, this is cool. This is in a steel mill area in Cleveland. This is the kind of stuff I like. Steel mill photos of Cleveland, like, they're kind of I talk about in the fair stuff. There's stuff that's just like I see like cool, but like I don't know, I like going deeper. You know what I mean? A little bit more of a like that's like a pretty good sequence there. So again, this is like another thing I'm like kind of I already know like since I made it or whatever, like it's like this cool little again another little sequence here. You can just kind of see all that, and I just love the alternate look. Oh gosh, the Brewer Hotel. This is actually a spot from the Shawshank Redemption. That's my brother again, and made another appearance in the project. The Shawshank Redemption's all time great, the best of the best. Great signage. This was real random. I think this is like, I think this photo is like on my way to Amish country or something like that. I go in this place. I'm like, what happened in here? I mean, it just seemed like business as usual though. Just, making photos happen at places, just keeping it going, you know? Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy when you take walks with a camera, you're just like, what is this? So funny. Like some of these photos, like, where was I? This one I like. It's great. It's like such a cool look on his hand right there. And stuff like this. It's a good one. And I was like in some like I remember I forget what was going on. Went to some like office building after hours to with someone pick something up and like it was like kind of like vacant looking and stuff and like it's like the lighting is weird. So having a camera on you is like what it's all about. Just making photos happen. I've always liked like the look of windows like right above the ground. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. That is the picture party. It's definitely a fun project to go through. I definitely go to my website, beastmedia.com. rifle through them, see if you can notice any themes, any type of pairings that go together. That this was definitely one of those experiments, and again, I mentioned in a previous commentary where you can for sure tell the progression of, um, post-production, um, over the years and making multiple projects and learning from them and, um, putting things that mean certain things in there, whether and you wouldn't know it without seeing the other thing. Having the 2 together gives a little bit of a, uh, yeah, theme or however you wanna word it. So, again, all my projects are at bsmitty.com. They're for free, check them out. A lot of stuff going on there too, merch, prints. There's a lot of stuff going on over there. And I'm on Instagram at OGBsmitty, and, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.